any quadratic, right? We just said y equals x squared. So this is a basic quadratic. Now, what we do, so this is a smiley face graph, right? And then we said a negative x squared graph is a frowny face graph. So the form of any quadratic equation looks like this. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So if I had an equation that looked like y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 1, my a, b, and c values, my laptop is really having a heart attack today. So a, b, and c are just these numbers. So 2 is a, negative 4 is b because it's in front of x, and the number by itself is 1. Right? So what I need to do is be able to tell what a, b, and c are. Because then I'm going to use a very scary looking formula, which again is just simple substitution. There's not much to it, but it looks insane. So here we go. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, I told you it was going to look scary, but it's not that bad, right? All you have to do is plug in a, b, and c into this and type it into a calculator. Right? You don't even have to do anything. Next year, you have to do it by hand. This year, we're just using calculators. It's not difficult. So if I wanted to do this with this information, I'm going to say negative b. B is negative 4. So I need negative 4, which is just 4, right? That is my calculator not working. My computer not working. So 4 plus or minus. Oh my goodness, come on, laptop. You can do this. My computer is just having a heart attack today. I think I need to restart it. Oh, come on. Plus or minus. Okay, are we okay, computer? No, we're not. The square root of negative 4 squared. Oh, jeez. This is my computer not working. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 1, all over 2 times, oh, come on, 2 times a, which is 2. All right. Now, the thing about typing this into a calculator is it really requires you to understand your calculator properly. If you can make fractions like this, like I can on mine, some of yours can do that, then you're pretty good to go. But if you're writing it all as one single line, you're going to have to put some brackets in. So you're definitely going to need brackets around this bit so that it square roots all of this section. And you're probably going to need brackets around the whole top section. So then all of this gets divided by 4. Does that make sense? So honestly, I wouldn't type in this at the bottom. I would just use the number 4. So what we're all going to do is practice that on a calculator right now. So I'm going to type it in on my calculator and I'm going to tell you what you should get. Okay, one other thing I just need to clarify. Where it says plus or minus, we're going to type this in twice. One with a plus sign, one with a minus sign. So we get 2 answers because, oh, actually, I'll tell you why, because in a minute. All right, so we're just going to practice typing this on our calculator and make sure we get the right answer first. All right, so if you use a plus sign, the answer should be 1.71. And if you use a minus sign, the answer should be 0.29. All right, so have a go at doing those. Make sure you got those answers. If you didn't, you've done something weird with your brackets. So those 2 answers there, those are the answers you should get. If you don't get those answers, it means you've done something wrong with your brackets. But if you do get these answers, it means you're all good. Not working? Okay, if you get syntax error, you're typing it in wrong because what you're trying to do is take a square root of a negative number. I guarantee you I know why you're getting a syntax error. If you type in -4 squared, what's the answer? -16. Your calculator thinks you're asking it to do -4 squared, not -4 squared. You must have brackets around your negative sign. Otherwise, it's not squaring the negative, it's only squaring the 4. So it's really important that you know how to use your calculator. This is not what you want to tell your calculator. Otherwise, it's doing -4 squared, which is -16, not -4 squared, which is +16. That's what we need. So if you got a syntax error, you must be doing that. It's the only reason you would get a syntax error, because you're trying to square root a negative number. Okay, keep in mind, you probably need a bunch of brackets inside the square root symbol. You will need brackets. And around the whole top, you might need brackets as well. Okay, well, that's very concerning. Let me check that I didn't do it wrong. No, I got it right. Is anybody getting my answer? About 3 people. Okay.
I didn't think that you told me to do more of the bracket.
Okay. So you've got 4 plus. Okay, so see how your square root sign stops there. You're not square rooting this whole thing. You need to square root the whole top of it. So then, geez, I don't know why is it doing that then? Okay, I'm gonna try again. That's your bracket. Okay, so we've got 4 plus square root of just do it like this. You've got the easy one. Just type it all in like that. Okay, if you've got a calculator like Tim, it's even easier than half the other ones. If you've got the same one as Tim, that's a really easy calculator to do it on. Have a look. Great. You got the same answer? Good. All right. Okay, I'm going to give you another one. I get that it's not working. So, well, not for everyone. Let me just save this. Good. That's what you should get. All right, we're going to have another go. Let's have another go. So think about where your fractions are. So if I say y equals x squared plus 4x minus 3. All right, so what we're going to do here is think about the fact that our A and our B and our C. All right, what's A? 1. Good, it's the number in front of x squared. What's B? 4. It's the number in front of x. What's C? 3. Minus 3. It's -3. All right, it is not the same thing. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So when you're struggling to put brackets in, you're going to need to have brackets around this bit. And I think you're also probably going to need to have brackets around this bit. Okay. So let's have a think about this. So x equals -b, so -4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. All right, so when I'm typing this into the calculator, I'm going to skip a couple of steps because it makes my life easier. 4 squared is 16, right? And then that is plus 12, and that is all over 2. That's what I'm going to type into my calculator, right? So I don't have to type in all the confusing things, which might make it easier because you're screwing up your brackets. But we really do need to practice typing things in and making sure that we understand the brackets properly. 0.65 is one of the answers you should have. The plus one, 0.65. I'm rounding. And then if you do it with a subtraction, oops. You should get negative 4.65. All right, so if you typed in this second version, that's great. But what I would like you to do is go back and type in this version and make sure that you know how to use your calculator properly, all right? So obviously we're messing up before. A number of people were messing it up. Have a go at this and see if you get these two answers. Sometimes you will get nice round numbers, like actual whole number answers, and that's great. But sometimes you'll get decimals like this. Because, yeah, I'm going to show you that in a second. So when we're doing quadratic equations, does anyone know how to tell me what the solutions mean? So when I say x equals these two things, what does that mean? Does anyone know what it practically means? Some of you have referred to a graph, which is correct. What do you think, Harmon? Passes through what? The x-axis. Yeah, these are the x-intercepts. So let me draw a little sort of graph over here. So if I'm drawing a graph like this is 0.65 and this is negative 4.65. That's what these solutions are, the x-intercepts of my quadratic graph. So we need to use them later. We're not going to use them today, but I do need you to know what they mean. All right, if you're having individual trouble with your calculators, I'm happy to help you, but that's all the second exercise is today, just using the quadratic formula, right? There's really not that much to it. It's just using the same thing over and over and over again.